Falcons 7-10 last year, only lost 2 games by more than 1 score, which is something I dug in and found that was pretty interesting to me. Of course, new defensive coordinator is in there. Ryan Nielsen comes over from the Saints, so familiar with the division for sure. They made a lot of additions. If you want to be bullish on the Falcons, there is a little bit of reason when you add Jesse Bates and David Onyemata, you trade for Jonnu Smith, you add Caden Ellis, Calais Campbell. You bring in, see what's left of Jeff Okudah and Bud Dupree. Maybe they can kind of get back to what they were at one time. Now you draft Bijan Robinson. You draft Matthew Bergeron, who's an offensive guard out of Syracuse, likely to kind of be a swing man for them to fill in along the line wherever they need him. Really only big losses, starting quarterback, obviously Marcus Mariota is out of there, but that might be an addition by subtraction if you believe in Desmond Ridder. And cornerback Isaiah Oliver is out of there as well. But outside of that, I mean, it is much more in than out there for this Falcons team that, as you mentioned a second ago, getting a lot of hype, getting a lot of love. We look at a 8.5 win total for this team and just a plus 105 for them to make the playoffs.
This is a Desmond Ridder problem to me. You either have to believe or not believe in Desmond Ridder. And if you think they're going over 8.5, you think he's an NFL quarterback. I don't think Desmond Ridder is an NFL quarterback. I watched him a lot at Cincinnati. He was very good for that system, very good for that scheme, very good with the talent around him. But when you saw him in the NFL and you saw those starts, and I realize it's a small sample size, but when you're struggling to complete swing passes, when you're throwing like obvious picks in the red zone, those are huge issues to me. The game was moving way too fast for him last year. We'll see if he can catch up to it this year. I realize there's a ton of talent here. I love Bijan Robinson. I think he is going to be a superstar early in the NFL. I think he's got a great shot at Rookie of the Year if you want to look at that ticket. But man, it is hard to get behind any team when you don't believe in the quarterback, and I don't believe in Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I am. This is one of the, I talk about, I have all these calendar alerts set, and I have a calendar alert set for this team after week 4. And it is to check out where they're at and what their adjusted win total is for the season, because they start out Carolina, Green Bay, Detroit, Jacksonville. I think best case scenario, 2-2 coming out of there. Worst case, 1-3. I don't see a 3-1. And with that, you go into a stretch of Houston, Washington, Tampa, Tennessee. There is a Vikings game in there, but then Arizona in week 10. There is a very, very, very lightening up of the schedule after week 4 for this team. And so you might get an adjusted win total that is below this 8.5, could be down at 7.5, might even be a flat 7. And I think if you like this Atlanta team, I would more check back in after week 4 and take advantage of how this schedule really, really softens up right there.
It does soften up. The one negative in their schedule, they have 5 of their first 6 games are home games, but one of those is actually a game overseas against Jacksonville. And then they come back for travel. So that Houston game is the week after a game overseas. So there's a lot of quirks to their schedule because you want those home games spread out a little bit more, and you want to be playing the over with more home games, and they're just not there later in the season.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.